These are the side steps with a mini band. So with this exercise, you can see that I've just put a resistance band around my legs just below the knees. You can also put it just above your knees. You just don't want to put it on your knees themselves, either just above or just below the knees. I like going just below typically because it gives a little bit more resistance than above, and it forces me to make sure to remember to keep my knees from getting too close together during this exercise, because if I get too close together, the band falls down. So I gotta keep that tension on the band throughout the exercise. Let's look at the form. Making sure your feet step out. They remain parallel with every step. Don't fall in to turn your toes out, one foot or both. Make sure both feet remain parallel with every step. I'm also keeping my knees above each foot. So every time I step out, I'm not just looking at the leading knee, getting it over the foot. I'm making sure the trailing knee is staying over its foot as well. It's very common people do this exercise and they just let the knees fall in, or even just one of them. They just start focusing on the one that they're stepping toward. Very important. Every time you step out, just think both knees out. So feet parallel, both knees out. Feet parallel, both knees out. And then it stays over the foot as it steps back in. I'm really aiming to keep my knees over the feet wherever they are in the step with both sides. Both knees out, both knees in, both knees out, coming in to stay over that foot. Side profile matters too. So we're going to keep the spine nice and straight, and you can get into a little bit of an athletic stance, a little bit of a mini squat here with this. Just make sure you're sitting your butt back so the knees are still behind the toes there. You want to keep the knees behind the toes. Don't fall into just having your knees forward, jutted out past your toes there. Sit your butt back so the knees are behind the toes as you do these side steps with your mini band. So wherever you go, wherever you're heading out, just make sure you get the same number of steps in both directions. I generally say wherever you start, just land back where you started. You probably got the same amount on both sides at that point. So however you do them, have fun with them. Just keep your form in check, feet parallel, knees over the feet, and knees behind the toes with your side steps with a mini band.